Hello and welcome to SoCal Prep Report. We're on the road again in the San Fernando Valley at San Fernando High School, where the Tigers are atop the Valley Mission League. My name's Randy Rosenblum, alongside Eric Satheimer of the Los Angeles Times. Eric, San Fernando got some good news. Southgate got some bad news.
Yeah, it was a very strange week, but not necessarily that strange because this happens every year. The forfeits come around. Southgate was found to have 5 ineligible players. They had to forfeit their first 5 games. One of those games was to San Fernando. And now there's a big question whether Southgate is even going to make the playoffs. Right now, John Aguirre has ruled, because this is the second time in 3 years this has happened, that they are ineligible for the playoffs, but they will try to appeal. And right now they're 1-0. They got one. They have one victory that doesn't count as a forfeit. That was last week.
Yeah, it was a big win over Southeast, and we'll talk about that game momentarily. But let's start with Mater Dei and St. John Bosco in the southern section. This was quite a battle. St. John Bosco, after 3 quarters, Eric, looked like they had the game in hand. They were up 21-12, and Mater Dei rallied back to win it.
Yeah, great performance by Mater Dei to hang in there. St. John Bosco's game plan was to stop the passing game, and then suddenly Mater Dei started running the ball effectively. They also got a key interception, and they're number one for a real reason, and that's because they got great depth on both sides of the ball. And I think they're going to be number one all the way into the finals and then play Centennial or St. John Bosco in the finals.
I would imagine the Braves of St. John Bosco would like to get there and get another crack at Mater Dei. We were both at the Coliseum last Saturday for the Gridiron Classic. 2 terrific games in the city section. The morning game was Crenshaw and Dorsey. Early on, it looked like Crenshaw had a chance to win it, but Dorsey scored the last 35 points of this game, won at 42-14. Their quarterback, German Gatoy, scores 3 touchdowns rushing the ball for the Dons.
Yeah, this game was a lot of big plays, very entertaining for the fans. Gatoy be able to run and throw a little bit really helped them a lot. And also Crenshaw, Dayon Henley had a tremendous game, but it was like a one-man team. You cannot win in that game when it's just one person. So congratulations to Dorsey. They're getting better each week. They're in position to be the number 2 seed possibly to Narbonne if San Pedro doesn't upset Narbonne this coming week.
You mentioned Henley. He had a 73-yard touchdown run. He actually ran it 85 yards. He retreated and went 85 yards, but officially a 73-yard touchdown run. That was an impressive performance by Henley, but more impressively, a great team win for Dorsey over Henley's Crenshaw squad. In the nightcap at the Coliseum, Banning was the favorite, but San Pedro came out, scored the first 20 points, led 20-0 at halftime. Joe Villarreal had a 42-yard touchdown run in the third quarter, and that wasn't enough. Yeah. San Pedro won at 20-7.
Yeah, that was the first time that I've seen San Pedro, and I was stunned at how good they were able to block. I was stunned that they were able to make a 48-yard field goal, and the defense just played great. The Gaffa brothers were tremendous, and I would say now that San Pedro has a shot at Narbonne if they can play that well. I still think they're going to have trouble scoring against Narbonne, but very impressed with San Pedro.
Yeah, the offensive line, Nick Ford up front was terrific, blocking for Austin Jackson, the quarterback. It's a very good San Pedro team, like Kai Kaneshiro, the running back, as well. I want to look at some of these Eastern League scores. I'm going to read them off because they're really amazing. Southgate 48, Southeast 41, Garfield 54, Bell 41, Huntington Park 43, Roosevelt 32. Is anybody playing defense in the Eastern League?
I don't think so, but Jamal Neal had a great game for Southgate. He had 4 touchdowns, scored 4, and he also passed for 1. And they were down to 20 players with all the issues on the ineligibilities, and that's a great performance to pull out that win.
How about Hawkins? They're still undefeated. They're playing terrific football in the Coliseum League. They get by L.A. 34-22. This is another big win for the Hawks.
Yeah, I was sold on Hawkins now because they were able to beat Dorsey and L.A. back-to-back. That really put a little pressure on them. They're going to have to beat Crenshaw this coming week, but I think they're going to win the Coliseum League and get the number 1 seed for Division II.
Yeah, they have to play Crenshaw on the road, but I really do think Hawkins will win that game. All right, Venice, they do it again. You called them the Cardiac Kids. They rally and win 24-21 in the day at Hamilton.
Yeah, the freshman quarterback, Luca Diamant, was able to get the team into field goal range in the final seconds to win the game, 24-21. The previous week, he threw a winning touchdown in the final seconds. I'm thinking it's going to be Palisades and Venice in another week for the championship in the Western League.
Yeah, Eddie Escobar hit the game-winning field goal with about a second to play. You mentioned that game on the 4th. Venice and Palisades. Palisades has won 7 consecutive games. They're 7-1. Innocent Oko, their running back, has rushed for 1,200 yards. We're going to step out. We're going to talk San Fernando football. The Tigers playing great in the San Fernando Valley. Their head coach, Robert Garcia, is right here next on SoCal Prep Report.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy. Oh, and she even talks to it. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Welcome back to SoCal Prep Report. We're at San Fernando High School, Kevin Williams Stadium, joined by the head coach of the Tigers in his 5th year, Robert Garcia. He's really got it going. You're 8-0. How surprised are you to be 8-0, knowing that you lost 1 football game on the field at Southgate?
Well, you know what? The kid's been working out real hard, so it's not really a surprise. It's just, it's going our way. So, I'll take the win, being 8-0.
Yeah, they forfeited that contest. I know you have a young football team that's 7-1 on the field. What do you like most about this young squad?
They're excited to come out every day. They come out with a passion to play football, and something I haven't saw in the last 2 years since the 2013 championship team, that they come out every day excited for each opponent every week, and it makes it exciting for coaches like myself.
The key for you is you always wanted to build up this program. You won a couple city Division II titles, then you went down a little bit, but you moved up to Division I, and now you're again trying to live up. And I'm really impressed because next year will be probably your best team. But for this year, I'm really impressed with the defensive line and also the improvement in your quarterback. Can you talk about both of those units?
Well, you know what? We went through a coaching change on defense, and the kids are really stepped up big, especially at defensive line. There's not one senior on the defensive line. They're all 10 and 11th grade. And they're just believing to the system, man. The defensive coordinators bringing in, and they're listening, and they're doing stuff right, and it's working. And
your 2 quarterbacks, you have a 10th grader and a junior.
They both got their own abilities. The junior's been doing pretty good. He's I think 1,500 yards, and the sophomore is just an exciting guy to watch. He can get out the pocket and make plays. So it's good to have 2 good quarterbacks.
What's their names?
Andrew and Josh.
I want to talk about your middle linebacker, running back, Anthony Gonzalez. We're going to meet him a little later in the show. He's come back from adversity, surgery. He was a great running back for you as a freshman, but now he's your middle linebacker, and he's leading a defense that allows just 8 points a game and has shut out 3 opponents.
Well, he's exciting to watch. Alex, he works hard. If you see him, he's a big guy, and you know what? He's been through a lot, and he played in the 2013 team, so he knew how exciting those seniors were when they came out to play, like Chris and all those guys. And he brings that excitement every day when we go defense, and he's the loudest guy on the defense. And it's exciting to watch him move around. And
you have a tough job this week. You're playing Van Nuys, and they're going to be looking forward to next week, the rivalry game, those nasty Sylmar Spartans. Explain what it's like to be in a Sylmar San Fernando game.
Well, you know what? I tell the kids it's the closest you're going to be to playing college football. Both sides are filled up. It seems like the whole valley's just closed down for this game. And for a lot of kids, this is what they live for. And the Sylmar San Fernando game, and it's exciting to watch. And like I said, for me, it's just the closest things for college football.
Right, and you went to UCLA. This week you're going to be taking on Van Nuys, whose coach is Mike Williams, who used to play for USC. As a matter of fact, you played against each other in college.
Yeah, you know what? It's going to be exciting to coach against them. We're both not playing anymore. It's the kids playing now, so it's something motivating to tell my guys.
I want to talk about the retired numbers. You got a board adjacent to this stadium, right above the concession stand, that has 6 numbers of Hall of Famers, the likes of Anthony Davis, Manford Moore, Charles White, who went on to win a Heisman Trophy. But there's 6 legendary names up there. When did that board first go up? And I'm sure that means a lot to the foundation of the San Fernando program.
It went up 2 years ago. When Coach Blunt passed away, they brought it back in, and they put it up there. And it's just something we can look at every day and just know those are legends to me. And just the kids know that those guys played on this field, and their expectations are really high, because those guys' expectations are really high. And when you pretty much disrespect them on the field when you take it easy in practice and games, or let anybody come, because those guys are all Americans. And it's just a privilege for me coaching on the field and knowing that those guys played here.
Anthony Davis, Dwight Chapman. I'm going to look back on the board. You have Manford
Charles
Moore,
White.
Charles White, Kevin Williams, and Sean
You almost
Blunt.
left out the Heisman Trophy winner, Randy.
I mentioned Charles White earlier. Coach, we wish you the best of the luck. We're going to meet some of your players when we come back. Congratulations on a great football season.
Thank you.
He's won a couple championships already. We'll see how they do this year. They're stepping up, of course, in D1, but they will be a football team that will get to the tournament. We'll step out and have a lot more right after this on SoCal Prep Report.
What's happening in LA? I'm Arian Alexander. Get your ghosts, goblins, and ghouls ready because it's Halloween week. Wherever you go in LA, there are Halloween events galore. And here's our top picks for you, your friends, and your family. The 17th annual Dia de los Muertos Festival is at the Hollywood Forever this Saturday. Everyone is invited to dress up in their Calcuta best. This year's theme is the Tree of Life and will feature artists like Julieta Venegas. Dance to the beats of Hueyo Pongo, Alejandro y Maria Lora, and Mariache Flor del Toloache. The festival celebrates the rich heritage of Mexican art and culture. Visit LADayofthedead.com for event details. Street Food Cinema brings back the cult classic film Beetlejuice as part of the Halloween festivities this Saturday at Will Rogers State Historic Park. Directed by Tim Burton, a recently deceased young couple becomes ghosts and haunt their former home with an obnoxious, devious ghost named Beetlejuice. Come early and enjoy food trucks galore, live music, and special guests. The event is dog-friendly. For tickets, go to streetfoodcinema.com. Mr. Bones Pumpkin Patch returns to Culver City with plenty of wonderful activities to choose from. There's quality pumpkins for purchase, as well as straw mazes, crafts, a petting zoo, a bounce house, pony rides, photo ops, and other family-friendly fun. It's one of the coolest pumpkin patches in LA, so go to MrBones.com for the hours. Stir up your Halloween spirit with these events unique to LA. And as a bonus, you get to wear your costume to all of them. I'm Arian Alexander for What's Happening in LA, and I'll see you next week.
Great numbers for San Fernando this year. They're 8-0. Offensively, they averaged 39 a game. On defense, they allowed just 8, and we have 2 of their stars. Anthony Davila is with us, along with Alex Gonzalez. Anthony, I know you play offense. We'll start with you. You're a wide receiver. 13 touchdowns over the last couple years. Talk about the offense of San Fernando, why you guys are scoring so many points.
The reason why we're scoring so many points because we've been working hard and we're just humble and we know our QB can make the throws to our wide receivers.
That's Josh Garcia.
Yeah, it's Josh Garcia, and we just complete them and we just make touchdowns.
And Alex, you have a great story to tell. You scored a touchdown in the 2013 City Championship game. Then you missed the 2014 and 2015 season because of a knee injury. Explain how that happened and what life was like not playing football for 2 years.
It was depressing, and I just couldn't believe it.
So you got hurt in the first game of 2014 against Poly. What happened?
I was running the ball to the left, and then the defender went right to my knee, and it just blew out.
You had a torn ACL, a torn MCL, and you didn't have surgery until your junior year, and then it was too late.
Yeah, it was too late.
So you just stood on the sideline and kind of didn't do a whole lot?
Yeah, I was just recovering.
Right. But right now you're the leading tackler. It seems to me that the defense is very good, got some really good defensive line. What is so key about the defense?
We just play smart and
Just very aggressive.
yeah, we're aggressive.
Anthony, let's talk about the offense as a squad. I mentioned close to 40 a game, but you've scored over 40 in the last 4 games. You've done it 6 times this year. 4 straight games with those kind of numbers. What has clicked offensively in recent weeks?
It just pays off. Going on practice, you gotta be working hard and everything. You just gotta work hard, and things will happen. That's it.
Are you starting to think? I know you want to concentrate on the game this week with Van Nuys to stay unbeaten. But down the road on November 4th, you know where I'm going with this, is the Sylmar Spartans. They're a pretty good football team, and it's a great rivalry in the Valley. Your thoughts about getting a shot at the Spartans and maybe an undefeated regular season?
We gotta come out and work hard, and like I said, practice comes, and you just gotta work hard, and then it pays off. And of course, we have a big rivalry in November 4th, and it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game.
You've played in that game. There's usually 4,000 or 5,000 people. It'll be here. It'll be sold out. That's a great atmosphere, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's really good. You get the chills when you come out, and it's good to make good plays versus a good team like Sylmar.
And Alex, do you ever hear from your former quarterback in Nevada, Chris Salon? Does he ever send you out some tips or texts? Or?
He says keep on working. Don't stop.
Right. And you guys are 8-0 now. You picked up a forfeit win. Is that a nice to do? Any kind of victory?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. He'll take it, Randy.
I took a lot of wins when Chris Solano was here. Chris Solano was a guest on our show a couple times. Guys, congratulations. Good luck. I know down the road you got Silmar, you got the playoffs. Should be a very interesting finish to the season for the Tigers of San Fernando. That's City football. Rich Estrella has the insight on the southern section. That's next on SoCal Prep Report.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Southern Section Report. I'm Rich Estrella. Today, we are coming to you from Charter Oak High School. That's our game of the week this week. Charter Oak is playing Los Altos. This is the Hacienda League. Both teams are undefeated. And joining me today is the head coach at Charter Oak, the legend, Lou Farrar. Lou, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for coming all the way out here to see us.
Not a problem. You got a big game this week. Before we get into that, Coach Farrar, you see here, is a living legend. This guy, 2 weeks ago, won his 300th game, and only a handful of you guys have won 300 here out in the Southern California. Yeah,
there's 5 of us now in that club and all of the history of Southern California. Actually, the state, I don't know, but I'm not too good with numbers, so I don't pay much attention to that. It's been a long haul. It's been many, many years of hard work, obviously, and a lot of good kids, a lot of great coaches. We have a great staff. We've been together for 25 years. We've put our time in.
A lot of coaches have different motivations when they coach football. A lot of them want to be there for a couple of years and keep moving up, moving on. Did you ever think you'd be at one spot for as long as you have and win 300 games? You've been here for 48 years now.
Well, no, I really didn't. I went to high school here. Oh. And so
never left?
No, and one of these days I'm going to graduate and leave. I always tease my coaching staff, if we ever get up by 3 touchdowns and it's the last home game of the season, I'm walking out the gate and not coming back. But no, I didn't think that. I actually went away to Cal and came home and after playing football and started coaching, got married, and I had many offers to go, many times at a different level. I did spend 5 years up at the JC level at Chaffey College, but always stayed in the district teaching. But I've retired from the classroom for 7 years now, and but I enjoy being around the kids and being here with the coaches and game planning and going through the things that it takes to be productive in the football game, but don't enjoy all that fundraising and all that other stuff. Yeah.
Things have sure changed a lot. I remember back probably when you first started. I remember when I was in high school, we didn't have to do a lot of fundraising, man. Everything was taken care of, and so things have changed a lot. The kids have changed. How do you stay up to date, and be able to relate to kids today?
Well, I get the comment all the time, you can't do that. You can't talk. You can't say those things. But my son Dominic's done a great job of keeping me going there, and I'm our staff. And now I have a grandson in high school as a junior. His name is Louis Farrar, also, unfortunately. And that family thing has really made a huge difference. We all live in the same block or two of each other in the neighborhood. We're only 3 blocks away from campus. My staff is either related to me or played for me, and I'm really happy to say that those guys have been very loyal and stuck it out. And I count on them to keep him. They count on me to take care of the bills and keep everything going otherwise. But it's been a big family effort.
Well, that says a lot about the program, too, because you guys have enjoyed a lot of success in this league. It's been you guys, Los Altos, your old friend Dwayne Despain got things going back in the 70s, winning all those titles over there at Los Altos. And then West Covina, not too long ago, was just beating people up. I mean, they had a finals game. They won 70-14 or something like that. So, it says a lot about your ability to not only command a program, but to get the community behind you. That involvement's very important for a winning program.
Definitely. We have a good following, and we've always had a good following. Our enrollment has gone down from about 2,000 kids now we're about 1,500, and it's that way all over the East San Gabriel Valley. Lots of high schools are finding that to be a problem. So keeping any kid and every kid involved is what we're trying to do, because we know the game of football teaches them a lot about life, number one, and number two, it's great for the community to come together.
All right, Lou, this week you have a huge assignment. I can't remember the last time a game was this big in this league. You're both undefeated, you and Los Altos. You are ranked number 1 in Division 4. They are ranked number 1 in Division 6. Forget the division; doesn't mean anything with this thing. This is this is a division rival. This is your league rival. The top 2 teams. So let's talk about that game this week, because this is a very big game.
It is. They've been pointing towards this game, and we knew it was going to come up sooner or later. I wish we were a little healthier and had our full, contention of
your quarterback's been down since the Damien game.
Right, and we've been going through some pains just coming up with the right kinds of matchups and stuff like that. But they're a great football team. They have been really excited. They got their stadium all redone over there. Dale's done a great job with that group of kids. He's brought the program back up to the standards that they're used to over there, and they've got an outstanding group of kids right now. So they've been looking forward to this kind of a game for 2 years.
Well, despite the injuries you have, you guys mirror each other in terms of offensive output and defensive staunchness. Both you guys have great defenses. Both you guys can put points on the board. That's what makes this matchup so tremendous. It would just be great if both you guys were at full strength this week.
Yeah, it would be, but we're gonna play. We're gonna play next man up and all that sort of stuff. We're ready to play our best game of the year, hopefully.
In your case, for your quarterback, it's the 4th man up.
Yeah, well, like somebody said over there, the quarterbacks just fall out of trees over here at Charter Oak.
Apparently. So, I want to talk about your career here. I wanted to ask you, what has been your most memorable moment or two in your last 48 years here?
Well, unfortunately, at my age, the first 100 I can hardly remember. The second group, I've had kids contact me who are now older people, and they say, Coach, I was a part of these 38 games or these 25 games, and it's nice to hear them come back and tell me about what they remember about being here. But I think when we combined Royal Oak and Charter Oak together into one high school again, that 84-85 team, it was like combining SC and UCLA. It was like oil and water.
I remember that.
Yeah, and that effort as a coaching staff to get those kids to play together, to play as one, to go undefeated and win the CF championship and be a big part of the beginning of our first of 5 CF championships. That was a great memory right there.
That merge was like We Are the Titans, right? Like the movie.
Exactly. I went through everything that guy went through and more. Somebody said, "Did you see the movie?" I said, "No, I lived it." Literally, it was exactly like that.
Right. Well, listen, Lou, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Good luck this week. I want to just say congratulations, man. You are immortal now, up there with Marion Ansich, who's been coached for 80 years. You did it in 48. Yeah. But, Marion and all the other good guys up there that have done a tremendous job. And, if and when you retire, this school, this community is going to lose a lot, Lou.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming out.
All right, Lou, good luck once again. All right,
thank you.
The legendary Lou Farrar here at Charter Oak High School. Again, his team is taking on Los Altos this week. Both teams are 8-0. They're fighting for the league championship and probably that number 1 seed in both of their divisions. All right, let's take a look at our top 10. It was Centennial Corona, 64-14 over Corona. They retained the top spot. They faced Norco this week in a big game. Mater Dei Bosco, number 2 and 3. Well, they flip-flopped. Last week, Bosco was 2, Mater Dei was 3. Mater Dei defeated Bosco 26-21 in a thriller at Cerritos College. And they flip-flopped. This week, Mater Dei's number 2, Bosco number 3. Don't think we won't see these two guys play again down the road. Rancho Cucamonga retains the 4th spot with a win over Etiwanda. They got Damien this week. It was Calabasas over Newberry Park. They have Thousand Oaks this week as well. Mission Viejo 68-0 over Trabuco Hills. They have a bye. And then we go to L.A. Hawkins. Hawkins, 34-22 over Los Angeles. They got Crenshaw this week. If they beat Crenshaw, the league title is theirs in the Coliseum League. It was Narbonne 49-8 over Washington. They'll play San Pedro on this week. This is for the league title, everybody. All Narbonne has to do is win, and they will, again, garner a Marine League title. Number 9 is Long Beach Poly. They defeated Lakewood 77-6. They have the number 2 team in the nation this week in IMG Academy. St. Francis is at the number 10 spot. Be interesting to see if St. Francis wins out the rest of their schedule and stays in the top 10. Real quick, Mater Dei is ranked between number 1 and 3. It depends whose poll you look at, but Bosco 4-12. Corona number 7. Rancho Cucamonga in just about everybody's top 10 now, or top 25 that is, at number 18. Don't forget Los Altos Charter Oak is our game of the week. And last week, Buena Park snapped La Habra's 48-game league winning streak by defeating La Habra 27-13. Buena Park has the inside track now, winning the first Freeway League title, I don't know, in about 10 years. Anyways, congratulations to Buena Park. That's it for this edition of the Southern Section Report. I'm Rich Estrella.
I'm Randy. This is Eric. This is the segment where we pick some football games. Last week, you and I disagreed on 4 of them. He was right on 2. I was right on 2. We'll see how we do today.
I was right on all 4. It just
No,
happened
you
to be
weren't.
unlucky on 2.
No. I should have won them all.
Okay.
All right, let's start in the southern section. One of my favorite rivalry games, Crespi at Notre Dame in Sherman Oaks. I know the teams are down a little bit, but there is playoff implications there.
Oh, absolutely. Whoever team wins this game is probably going to make the Division II playoffs, and I'm going to give the edge to Notre Dame. They've been scoring a little more points. Crespi's been struggling with their offense, but rivalry games, anything can happen. I expect this to go down to the end.
I like Notre Dame as well. How about St. Francis at Cathedral? Both teams unblemished 8-0.
Yeah, I'm going to be there. Of course, I should leave now to get a parking space. It's a great matchup. Cathedral's got the 2-quarterback system going with Tovar and Young. St. Francis under Michael Bonds has done a great job. They're doing a great coaching jobs there. I still give the edge to Cathedral, but St. Francis has beaten Dorsey and Buena Park this year, both schools that have a lot of speed like Cathedral. And if Cathedral plays the way like they did last week when they barely beat Salesian, then St. Francis will win. But it's at home, and I'm going to give Cathedral a chance to win that one.
I'm going with St. Francis. Let's jump back into the city, albeit this one. San Pedro, which was mighty impressive in their win against Banning, against undefeated and number 1 ranked Narbonne in the city section.
Narbonne will win the game because Coach Douglas is focusing on a 16-game season. They never look past anyone. I think the Narbonne defense will shut down San Pedro, but San Pedro's defense is much improved. They will cause trouble, and if Narbonne does not take care of the ball and not commit turnovers and doesn't make penalties, they will win. But if they make a bunch of those things, there's going to be problems.
You got to talk about the San Pedro kicker. Tanner Carcamo was fabulous last week. Kicked a 49-yard field goal.
All city.
Okay, all right. Just want to give the kicker a little bit of credit. Hawkins at Crenshaw. By the way, I agree. Narbonne's going to win. Hawkins at Crenshaw. I've already said Hawkins will win the game.
Yes, Hawkins going to win. Crenshaw is really a young team.
Sure.
And Henley really can't do it all by himself. They're struggling running the ball. They don't have a whole lot of receivers. So offensively, they're going to have trouble.
Palisades at Westchester. Pally's 7-1. I talked about Oko, the great running back. Westchester's 6-2, and they've lost 2 heartbreaking games.
I'd say this is an upset possibility with Westchester. They've played a lot of teams hard. I'm going to go with Palisades, but I would not be surprised if Westchester pull off the upset.
I like Palisades as well. We agree on just about every game so far. But here's the big one. This is the game of the week for Randy and Eric. North Hollywood on the road at Poly.
Really?
Your alma mater, Poly.
Excuse me.
My
I
alma
want to
mater,
talk
North
about
Hollywood.
last season when Poly upset North Hollywood.
That was last year.
Okay.
What about this year? Get in the present,
okay,
not the past.
I'm taking, unfortunately, North Hollywood, even though they lost to Arleta last week.
High-scoring game,
That was
though.
embarrassing.
Why? Arleta's improved. You said it last week on the show.
I'm just going to say wait till basketball and baseball season for Poly.
Yeah, I agree with you. North Hollywood. The Huskies, they'll win the football game. A note here, Bob Lafrano, former Chatsworth baseball coach. He's the AD at Pierce. Coached baseball very effectively at Pierce as well. He's got some good news. He works with the Chicago Cubs, a scout. He's going to the World Series.
He's been a scout for 35 years for the Cubs. Can you imagine that? And finally, they're in the World Series. He's going to go. Also, the Cubs and Indians both have a pitcher from Hart High School, Trevor Bauer and Mike Montgomery. That's so unusual from the same team in 2008. Jim Ozell right now still the coach at Hart. Great guy. They've had 6 players off the Hart teams be in the major league this season. No high school in America can say that.
Eric, you got to have heart.
got to have baseball in this segment.
Every week he throws
You
in
know,
baseball.
El Camino looked okay last week.
They're always good. They've won the city
fall
championship
baseball, but
the last couple
Chatsworth is
years.
the favorite. My pick
Well,
to
they
win
got
it.
pitchers. Chatsworth's got pitchers.
Okay.
I have Eric. We'll be back next week. For Eric Sotheimer, I'm Randy Rosenbaum. We want to thank everyone here at San Fernando. Very nice to deal with. Congratulations to the Tigers having a wonderful football season. We'll see you next week right here on SoCal Prep Report.